Money feels tight even when the paycheck seems decent. What if one simple system could cut waste and quietly grow your wealth over time? This isn't a gimmick or a hypey shortcut. It's a practical, repeatable routine you can start this week with tools you already have. I call it the 60-20-20 wealth sprint, with a small debt tweak if you need it. It's built for real life in North America, with rent, groceries, and the cost of driving in mind. Step 1 is to map your money. You don't need fancy software to begin. List every source of income and every expense for a full month. Don't guess. Use receipts, bank statements, and your app data. Seeing it in one place changes how you decide what to change. Step 2 is to set up 3 accounts that you can actually manage. A checking account for bills and everyday spending, a savings account for emergencies and sinking funds, a separate investing account so your long-term money isn't mixed with daily spending. If you already have accounts, you can still use this approach by simplifying transfers. The point is clear separation, so nothing leaks from one bucket to another by mistake. Step 3 is to automate the numbers. After-tax income goes to those 3 buckets in this rough split: 60% to needs, 20% to savings and investing, 20% to wants. If you do have debt with high interest, you can reframe the 20% wants into debt repayment until the balance starts to fall. The automation keeps you from relying on willpower alone, which tends to fail in the long run. Let me walk you through a concrete example. Meet Alex in Denver, who earns $4,500 after taxes each month. The plan says 60% for needs is $2,700. That covers rent of $1,350, utilities and internet at $350, groceries at $480, transportation at $170, insurance and medical costs at $150, and a small $200 cushion for messy needs. The 20% for savings and investing is $900. That goes $600 into retirement accounts and $300 into an emergency fund or a starter brokerage. The 20% for wants is $900. This pays for dining out, movies, and a few spontaneous treats. If Alex has student debt or a credit card balance, the 20% wants can be redirected to pay down that debt faster. The key is to keep the automation intact while shifting a little from wants to debt payoff. You don't cancel fun forever. You just delay it long enough to gain momentum. What belongs in needs? This is your essentials bucket. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, phone, and minimum debt payments. It also includes obligations you can't miss, like childcare or essential medical costs. The aim is to list only what you truly must pay to live and stay safe. What belongs in savings and investing? This is your future money. It includes an emergency fund that can cover 3 to 6 months of living costs. It also includes money for retirement accounts, such as a 401k, if your employer matches, an IRA, or a tax-free savings account if you're in Canada. If you have a high-interest debt, you might want to allocate some of this 20% to accelerate payoff before investing heavily. The idea is to build security first, then let investments compound. What goes into wants? This is discretionary spending. It includes dining out, streaming services, hobbies, new clothes, and gadgets. The trick is to keep this enough for life to feel good, but not so much that you chase the next big treat every week. If you notice you're spending more, you can trim here first. Now, a real tool you can use: a weekly 15-minute budget sprint. Every Sunday, spend a quarter of an hour reviewing the week just passed. Check every receipt and every card charge. Make sure nothing sneaked into the wrong bucket. If it did, move it back during the next automatic setup. Let's talk about grocery and shopping hacks, common pain points in North America. Food costs can swing a lot from month to month. Create a simple ritual. Before you shop, write a 2-column list. One column is must-have, staples like milk, bread, eggs, and a few proteins. The other is reasonable picks, vegetables you enjoy, fruit, and occasional treats. Compare unit prices on every item. A cheaper generic brand is often a better choice than a small brand item you've only heard about. Use loyalty programs and cashback apps, but apply them with discipline. Don't buy something just because it's cheap if you don't need it. Track rewards and set a monthly cap so you don't drift into overspending just for points. Housing costs often eat a big slice of needs. If you rent, negotiate renewal terms every year and keep an eye on better options in the same area. If you own a home, consider refinancing if rates drop meaningfully or if your credit score has improved. Small changes in mortgage rates can save hundreds a year. For energy, set a reasonable thermostat schedule and unplug idle devices. In many places, turning the thermostat down a notch in winter or up in summer saves money without hurting comfort much. Transportation is another big ticket item. If you drive, keep tires inflated to the pressure listed on the door sticker. Regular maintenance prevents costly breakdowns. If you can work from home a few days, you'll save on commuting costs. If you're close to public transit, a monthly pass can cut nearly 50% of your typical transport spend. Now, what about insurance and health costs? Shop around every year for auto, home, and health insurance. Bundling policies with one provider can save money. High-deductible health plans paired with a health savings account can lower monthly costs and give you a tax-advantaged way to save for future medical needs. Let's cover investing decisions, a real decider for long-term wealth. Keep costs low. Choose broad, low-cost index funds or ETFs rather than trying to pick the next sparkly stock. Reinvest dividends and automate your monthly contributions so you don't miss a month. If you have a 401k with employer matching, contribute enough to get the full match. That's free money. If you can, open an IRA or TFSA for additional tax-advantaged growth. Diversify within your comfort zone. Don't put all money in one fund or one sector. The goal is steady, modest growth with low fees and a plan to rebalance once or twice a year. If you're unsure how to start, many providers offer target date funds or simple total market funds with automatic rebalancing. What if you have debt? The plan still works, you just adjust. If interest rates on your debt are high, you might move more of the wants budget into debt payoff until you're free of the costly balances. Once the high-interest debt is gone, you reallocate those payments to savings and investing. The debt tweak keeps your structure flexible while reducing risk. A practical 6-month checkpoint helps keep you honest. At month 3, measure how your emergency fund sits and how your debt is shrinking. At month 6, check whether you're on track with retirement contributions and whether your expenses have dropped as you've optimized shopping and energy. If not, adjust the 60-20-20 splits or the automation amounts by a small amount. Small changes compound over time. Here are some common objections and quick fixes. You may feel like you're already living paycheck to paycheck. Start with the smallest line in your budget you don't truly need. Maybe a streaming service or a subscription you forgot about. Cancel it for a month and redirect that money into your emergency fund or investing. You'll miss it at first, then it becomes normal. Another obstacle is lifestyle creep. As income grows, so do expenses. To counter this, increase your savings and investing amount a bit whenever you get a raise, not your wants. Think of the raise as a signal to move money to your future, not to upgrade today. The plan isn't about deprivation. It's about clarity and consistency. It's about making a few intentional choices that add up. The goal is to feel in control of your money, not controlled by it. Let's recap the core steps in simple terms. First, map your money and know exactly where it goes. Second, set up 3 accounts and automate the 60-20-20 splits. Third, add a debt tweak if you need to. Fourth, run a 15-minute weekly budget sprint to stay on track. Fifth, use smart shopping, energy savings, and sensible insurance choices to trim costs. Sixth, invest in low-cost funds and automate every month. Seventh, check in every few months and tweak as needed. If you're listening to this and thinking, I can do that, start today. Pick one concrete action you can do this week. It might be setting up automatic transfers, or canceling a subscription, or listing all monthly expenses. Do that one thing, then build on it next week. A small, steady rhythm beats big, improvised leaps. You don't need a windfall or a perfect credit score to begin. You just need a plan you can repeat month after month, year after year. If this approach makes sense to you, try it for 90 days. Track your numbers, note the changes in your daily life, and tell me what you learned. I'll be here with more ideas as you share what's working for you. Finally, if this helped you see a practical path to better money management and real wealth building, give it a like. If you want more tips like this, subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next video. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your biggest money challenge right now, and which part of this plan do you want me to expand on next?